Welcome to the deep dive. Look, if you're a high-achieving professional, you've probably bought into that whole myth, right? That success means heroic effort.
Yeah, the late nights, the constant pushing, exactly, ignoring your limits. But let me ask you, honestly, right now, does your workday feel like it just happens to you? Like you're always reacting, always ending up exhausted? Or are you actually, shaping it sustainable?
Because that constant reactivity, that's burnout waiting to happen.
It really is. And that's what we're diving into today. We've got this source material focused squarely on daily rhythms for sustainable leaders.
Right.
Our mission here is to pull out the practical stuff, the actionable nuggets that show you how to switch from those burnout cycles to, well, long-term energy management.
And the core idea from all this research is actually pretty simple, but wow, it changes things. Sustainable performance. It's not built in those big heroic moments.
Nope, not at all.
It's built in the small choices you make every single day. Do they drain you or do they refuel you? That's what we're digging into today, finding that refuel button.
And making it part of your routine. So to do that, we're going to unpack 4 key areas, 4 pillars really from the sources.
Okay.
First up, the morning intention setting framework. Then we'll look at the evening reflection practice. Super important.
Right, the bookends of the day.
Exactly. Then we connect it all to the psychology, specifically Dr. Carol Dweck's work on growth, how daily reflection fuels that.
Ah, okay. Interesting. And finally, we tackle the management side. How do you build accountability, but without all that draining pressure? All right, let's start where most days seem to go off the rails, the morning. The material really hammers this morning intention setting framework, and it says it's for any professional. Okay, let's unpack that. I get the theory, but let's be real for a sec. If you've got, kids, pets, early calls, how do you realistically find time for intention setting without it just becoming another stressor?
That's a really common pushback, and it's valid. But the key here, I think, is that the framework isn't really about adding time. It's about changing your pacing and focus. It's a quick cognitive pivot, maybe 5 minutes, max. After your coffee, before you even open the emails. The goal is just to shift from passively taking hits to actively directing your energy.
So what does that 5 minutes actually look like? Is it just listing my top 3 priorities?
It can be, but it's often more strategic than just a to-do list. Sometimes the best intention is actually deciding what you won't do.
Okay. Counterintuitive for high achievers, maybe?
Definitely. You're basically preloading your mental map for the day. It might be, okay, today, the main thing is finishing that Q3 proposal.
Right.
And crucially, I'm going to actively resist checking Slack every 5 minutes while I do it.
Okay. So the intention isn't just the task, it's protecting the focus needed for the task. It's like preserving your resources.
Exactly, the mechanism, yes. You define an intention. Maybe it's a hard task, maybe it's something softer, like I'll practice patience in that tough meeting. You put a governor on your resources.
So you start the day executing your plan.
You spend the morning executing your plan, not just reacting. That's the first vital step to stop the day happening to you, is choosing to spend energy proactively. That's refueling. Reacting is draining. Simple as that.
And the sources say, keep it brief, right? Maybe jot it down somewhere simple. A journal, an app. Absolutely. Keep it frictionless. If setting the intention feels like a chore, you've kind of missed the point of sustainability already. It should be a tiny ritual, a reminder, I'm steering the ship today. Okay, that feels manageable. So that sets us up for a strong start. But sustainability, well, that's really about the long haul and how you finish, how you recover.
So we set the morning intention, but how does this evening reflection practice actually help with what the sources call the explicit outcome, achieving real work-life balance?
Yeah, the evening piece is critical because it tackles something psych folks call cognitive residue. You know that feeling?
Oh, yeah. When you log off at 6, but your brain's still debating that email chain at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a massive drain. It's not just the work hours, it's the mental baggage you carry after work. That conflict with a colleague, that little mistake, it just churns.
It's the classic hamster wheel effect, right? Ruins your evening, messes with your sleep, makes you start the next day already behind.
Precisely. And there's a psychological reason, the Zeigarnik effect. We tend to remember unfinished stuff more vividly than completed stuff. Close the laptop, but all those mental tabs are still open.
Okay.
Reflection is basically the structured way to, well, get the hamster off the wheel. Close those mental tabs systematically.
But hang on, let me push back a bit here. For some people, reflecting on a tough day just sounds like rumination, like dwelling on everything that went wrong.
That's a really important distinction.
Doesn't that just keep you stuck in the work mindset? How is that helpful for work-life balance?
It's a brilliant point.
Yeah.
And that's where the structure of the reflection comes in. It's not about just dwelling. It's structured, forward-looking analysis. The prompt isn't, what did I screw up today?
Okay, what is it then?
It's more like, what did I learn today? And crucially, what's one small thing I can tweak or address tomorrow based on that?
Ah, so the structure forces you to interpret, not just replay. You're looking for the data point, not just the bad feeling.
Exactly right. You
Yeah.
process the day, extract the learning before you mentally clock out. You note what got done, what was learned. It's like giving your brain permission to put the files away.
I like that, putting the mental filing cabinet away.
That intentional shift from worker mode to person mode stops the cognitive drain bleeding into your personal time, your sleep. That's the boundary mechanism for genuine work-life balance.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So morning intention sets the course, evening reflection provides closure and learning. It's a full feedback loop. And this is where, for me, it gets really interesting connecting it to the deeper psychology.
Yeah, the engine that makes it all work, really.
Why is linking this daily reflection specifically to Dr. Carol Dweck's work so critical for being a sustainable leader? The sources say her insights on growth are unlocked through daily reflection. What's the connection?
Okay, so this is the lever, right? The thing that turns these habits from just routines into real sustainable growth and resilience. Dweck's work obviously is huge, the growth mindset.
Right, the idea that abilities aren't fixed, they can be developed
Exactly.
through effort, through learning. But the big question is always, how do you actually do that? How do you put that mindset into practice every single day, especially when things go wrong, when you hit a real setback? Because it's easy to say you have a growth mindset when everything's going great. The real test is when the presentation bombs or you lose the client.
Precisely. That's the moment. A fixed mindset sees that failure and thinks, see, I'm just not good enough at this. It feels permanent. But the sustainable leader, using that structured evening reflection we talked about, they see that same challenge differently, as a data point. Reflection gives you the space and the framework to ask different questions, to reframe it.
Can you give me an example of that reframing self-talk?
Yeah.
Because that feels like the really practical bit here.
Sure. So instead of that crushing thought, ugh, I totally blew that pitch, I'm just terrible at presentations, the reflective leader, guided by growth mindset principles, learns to think. Okay, the outcome shows my audience analysis was off, specifically on the financial projections piece. Next time, I need to adjust my structure, maybe lead with the value prop more directly.
Right.
Wow, okay, that completely shifted. It takes a personal judgment out and puts the focus squarely on strategy, on process, things you can actually change.
It does exactly that. It moves it from the zone of personal failing into the zone of solvable problem. Reflection, turbocharged by Dweck's insights, stops setbacks from being demoralizing. It keeps feeding that belief that, yeah, improvement is possible. It's even inevitable if you adjust your approach. So the daily practices become self-reinforcing. They don't just maintain you, they actually build your capacity over time.
That's why it's sustainable. It fuels future resilience.
Yeah.
That's powerful. It changes the meaning of struggle itself. Struggle isn't proof you're failing, it's proof you're learning. Okay, final piece of this rhythm puzzle. And this one can be a real hurdle for traditional managers. Building accountability without pressure. The sources insist this applies in any role.
Yeah, and that phrase, without pressure, is doing a lot of work there. We need to be clear what pressure means in this context. It's the stuff built on, constant urgency, fear of messing up, threats, micromanagement.
The command and control style, right? And that whole system, fundamentally unsustainable, runs on external fear fuel, and it just leads to exhaustion, resentment. It basically drains all that energy we carefully tried to build up in the morning.
Totally.
But okay, playing devil's advocate, we still need results, right? Deadlines are real. How do we keep people committed, keep the stakes feeling real if we take away the pressure? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer lies in shifting from external pressure, which is mostly fear-based, to internal alignment, which is value-based.
Okay. How does that work practically?
When accountability is built into the rhythm itself, the consistent morning intention, the evening reflection, the individual starts building accountability to themselves, to the standard they set for their own energy, their own focus each morning.
So the system, the framework itself, kind of becomes the supervisor, not the person breathing down your neck.
You got it. And in a team setting, pressure-free accountability looks different. It looks like radical transparency about the process, not just hammering the outcome. Instead of just asking if the deadline was hit, that's pressure. The focus is on how the daily rhythms supported progress towards the goal. That's alignment.
I see.
This builds way more self-trust. The person knows they're following a rhythm designed for their own optimal performance. The accountability feels integrated, internal. It's less about frantically meeting some external demand and more about honoring the internal commitment that keeps them effective and, well, human.
So the driver shifts from fear to maybe self-respect or commitment to the process. One feels volatile, the other feels much more stable, more consistent.
Precisely. One burns fuel rapidly, the other generates its own.
Okay, let's tie this all together then. Based on these 4 pillars, morning intention, evening reflection, Dweck's growth insights fueling it, and this pressure-free accountability, what's our working definition of a truly sustainable leader?
Well, I think it defines a leader whose success isn't really dependent on those adrenaline spikes or constant firefighting. It's built on consistency, on structure, on a relentless day in, day out focus on managing their own energy and helping their team manage theirs.
Right.
If you put the 4 pieces together, you see they create this a self-regulating system almost. Intention directs energy. Reflection ensures recovery and learning. Dweck's principles give you the resilience engine. And pressure-free accountability keeps things on track without burning everyone out.
So it's really less about just cramming more doing into the day and more about intentionally doing what matters most in a way that actually energizes you. You stop just reacting to everyone else's urgencies and you start actively creating your own sustainable reality one day at a time. It's systemic, it's not a hack, it's a rhythm.
And that brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? Sustainability comes from those small, consistent choices, not the heroic, unsustainable bursts. These rhythms, they're the structure that lets you create days that actually refuel you instead of just depleting you. That's how you build real long-term leadership capacity. So this is your reminder, listening right now. You absolutely have the power to stop letting your workday just happen to you. You really do. You could start tomorrow morning. Just one small 5-minute intention. You've got the tools inside you. This framework just gives it structure.
Yeah. And that leads perfectly into our final thought for you to chew on as you think about maybe trying these rhythms out. If this sustainable system works by removing pressure, getting rid of the fear, the high stakes urgency, what's the single most vital ingredient that has to take its place? What ensures that real long-term commitment sticks? Is it just sheer consistency, like we talked about? Or is it something deeper, like a fundamental self-trust in the rhythm you design for yourself? What provides the real internal stakes for you? Something to think about this week.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.